Welcome back to the DrossCast podcast. We are the Dross Squad. Here with me today, for short spurts, I guess, is Slay.
I was right all along, you fools! You fools! I know more about this damn show than you do! Okay, that's gonna be my entire contribution. So,
well, now that nobody else is gonna listen the rest of the time.
Perfect. You just deafened them. All right. Next we got Kat.
Cats can rotate their ears 180 degrees.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Akko.
My mind was just blown. But anyways, Cool Ranch Doritos. 3 out of 5.
Wait,
just
Doritos?
Are you fucking kidding?
3 out of 5?
3 out of 5.
Wait, just the chips.
Doritos are like the second best Dorito.
Cool Ranch
Yeah, the second best
Taco Doritos.
Doritos Locos Tacos are 3 out of 10?
3 out of 5.
Okay, so we're talking about tacos, not the chip.
Yeah.
Okay, well you just said like Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah, but he
same
rates
thing,
tacos.
I guess.
It's not this. Yeah, but you gotta clarify. There's a difference between a Cool Ranch Dorito and a Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos.
It's like the same thing. Just one has meat and salad.
But the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos is better than the nachos.
So why did you rate the nacho cheese one on a scale of 1 to 10 and this one on 1 to 5?
I don't know.
So
Are you giving stars or are you...
Are you going to change up the rating every time?
We'll find out next week.
We'll do different scales.
I give it 3 out of 5 dire wolves.
I give it a C.
C. Honestly, yeah, that's about a C.
Okay, all right. Highly unpopular opinion, but we'll move on. And we have a special guest with us today. Let's introduce Zwack, who's going to have a lot to say on this podcast. He might just do it himself.
Why do you think I came all this way?
PTSD.
Yep, exactly. And I'm Bob. I'll be the host for today's episode, and we're going back to Game of Thrones. This episode is being recorded right after the series finale.
Yay.
That we all have
Spoiler alerts if you haven't watched it.
Yeah, spoiler alerts if you didn't watch it. We all have our own opinions. One of them is wrong. One of them is wrong, I'll tell you that, but I guess we'll get into it.
Wait, before we need, for all our guest stars, we need to find out the 3 fictional characters that they represent.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So we all have our own personal interviews where we went over that with Slay. So we'll see what Zwack has to say on this.
So mine is Chandler Bing, because I like making jokes, and mostly dad jokes. You won't hear that today because I'm sad. I went with Shikamaru because I'm kind of lazy, and I like to be tactical when I'm playing like games and shit. And I went with Aizawa because no matter what I'm doing at any time, I would like to be taking a nap.
All right.
That's fair.
I was jealous of that one.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have thought of that.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's a good one.
That is a very good one. All right, so are we going to kick this one off with... Zwack had the idea to have us pick which character we think we resonate with the most in the show, and then maybe go around and see what the other people think about what character they think we would be.
Only thing is, so any character... Dead or alive, or
Any character, dead or alive,
any
character in the whole
You can
Game
decide
of
whether or not
Thrones.
you're
Like,
ending.
if I was in the show, I'd probably be dead. I'll just say that.
Right.
I think we should say what character we think we are, and then whether or not we're happy with our character's ending.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I know my character should be dead, so it's appropriate too. I guess I'll just start it off real quick. I'm gonna go with Sam, just because I have useless knowledge that I have stored away. I mean, he knows a lot of useful stuff, and I do in certain areas, but I also have 0 other skills. So I'm going with Sam for this one.
Sick.
Yeah, I wish I could be a better character, but I'm just being honest with myself.
But you survived.
I did survive.
Are you
I
happy
shouldn't
with
have,
Sam's
but
ending?
I survived. I think so.
I'm happy with Sam's ending.
I'm happy with his
I
ending.
didn't really expect much for Sam's ending.
Except now he doesn't get to, like, have sex with Gilly again because he's the Grand Maester and they don't get to have sex. So, whoop-de-fucking-do for
Maybe
him.
it wasn't that good. Maybe that's why he wanted to be the
But he
Grand
might
Maester.
be
He's like, get me
starting.
out.
That's
He
true.
might be starting new rules with this because he just tried to father democracy in the last episode. So maybe he's trying to switch up rules.
Yeah.
Maybe he will get to bone.
I have some thoughts on Sam for later.
Okay.
But I think my character would be, and this might be a little presumptuous, but I'm going to be Tyrion Lannister. because I drink and I know things.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's a good
That's
one.
fair.
I like it.
Well, mine, if you listened, well, actually, I don't think at the time we're recording this that our interviews are actually uploaded, but if you go back and listen to my interview, one of the Game of Thrones characters is one of my fictional characters, and that would be Sansa Stark, because she's a judgy bitch that watches from afar, and I feel like that's me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really happy with her ending, because Queen of the North,
Queen of the
fuck
North.
yeah.
I am indifferent about her ending at the point.
I was okay with that. I think
I don't mind that.
There are
really
reasons.
unhappy with the King of
Yeah.
everything else, so the Queen of the North, I'm like, all right. Good with
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I'm good. And that they became independent. I
Mhm.
like that too.
And Akko?
When I pick a character that I would resemble, I would go Rickon Stark. Because I would be useless, not able to do anything, and I would die right away.
No, you say that, but you are good at
No.
everything.
Yeah, you are. It's really
we'll,
annoying.
we'll get
Yeah.
back to him.
Except
I have a
for-
perfect character for him,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, well,
And Slay?
Well, we do have Slay,
Cersei.
of course.
And I think that is perfect. We'll start
Yep.
her off with
Yep.
who we think
Done.
she should be.
Over.
Yeah, all right.
And
Cersei
then
for
she is
sure.
definitely a
I am
Cersei.
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 There's no debate.
You're
it
here.
really isn't.
Oh, how do I feel about her ending? I didn't watch it, so
Well,
I
well,
knew
you-
she
you
dies.
You
know
saw
she
the
dies.
You
the
saw
bells.
the previous episode
The Battle of
where
the
she got
Bells.
crushed, right? Were you
Nope.
watching that episode?
No, she went to volleyball.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. That got
So I
canceled
heard
too.
she died, and
Yeah.
that makes me sad. 'cause
Disappointing.
She should have,
Disappointed!
That too.
she
It's always
should have
relevant in this
retained
case.
the throne. That is all. I'm
No,
going back
because
to
there's
sitting in my corner.
there's a prophecy about her, and she was supposed to die at the hands of her little brother, choking her out after her 3 children died, which they did. So
Oh,
they
like
did
his
that
poor
part.
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. So she did not die by getting choked out. She died by a rock.
She died Callisto style. How
A
fitting
falling
for
brick.
you.
Oh.
She literally did die Callisto style. Rocks to the head.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Full
I
circle.
Very
I
funny.
think that Akko would be a Jamie Lannister.
Ew.
No. Well,
Oh
stop. Just wait.
All right,
wait.
I wish
just
Camila
wait.
was here.
Oh.
today, so-
Just
Oh yeah,
wait.
we should have waited until your sister was here.
Just wait. Jamie is good at everything, and
Except for
you
keeping his
really
hand.
pick stuff up really quickly. But
True.
everything that Jamie did in the entire show was selfless, and you're a very selfless person.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
he jumped into the bear pit to save Brienne. He murdered the Mad King to save all of King's Landing, and except for the final season, his character arc followed that. And I really think that's what you do. That's how you are as a person.
Okay.
Are
I
we
can
forgetting
see
the first scene where he shoves a kid out a window?
For Cersei,
Yes.
But that doesn't make it okay.
It
If you
do-
shove a kid out a window for me, we're getting divorced.
it doesn't.
I'm gonna do
If you would be executed, Marcus would kill a kid.
I don't think he would.
What if the kid was
Shoot.
coming to kill you?
Akko
Could he
would kill
push them out then?
I mean, if it's a
Yeah.
murder baby, then it's probably
yeah,
like
murder
not.
baby. And that's frightening.
Murder babies should always be killed.
No, I think Akko is the embodiment of the good parts of Jamie Lannister.
I mean, I'm
I
okay
could
with
see
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm less okay with the incesty parts, but we'll just,
Yeah.
I guess, we'll ignore that and pretend it doesn't exist. We'll also pretend we didn't just call Slay Cersei, because that also is a little gross. Ew!
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay,
Way to boost my
we
confidence.
always say that the two of them are very similar, right?
We do. They are like twins.
They
just
are.
not the like
They
incest.
definitely are. Oh,
So-
shit.
We
Oh
said
my
the
God.
good parts.
Okay, so if we
So-
take out the
This is
incest.
getting weird. I don't like it, you guys.
If we take out the
I don't
incest, you
like
guys
it.
could be twins, though. Not the incesty part. Just the
Right.
Yeah.
If we're doing modern day, normal, non-incesty
Yeah.
stuff,
I could see that.
I think it
Alright.
works.
I
Yeah,
can-
definitely works. Yeah,
I'm
man.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think
I'm-
you're more like a Sir Davos.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I like Davos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very wise. I don't know. We haven't spent a lot of time together, but you seem
Old.
like you're pretty down to earth, and,
Old.
and you're old as fuck.
I
so
am
I
old.
mean,
I just turned 30th. I'm like at the end of my life.
are you kidding?
No. Yeah. Yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay, Bob! Birthday!
I feel old.
Yay, Bob.
So Davos is perfect.
Okay. I think Sansa's a good fit for you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judgy bitch.
Me too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Probably like a mixture of Sansa and Arya, but
I don't know. I'm not that badass.
Yeah.
But I have her hairstyle, so does that count?
Well, that's what
Arya also
like,
shouldn't have been that badass either. She was Batman, so I mean, plot armor up the wazoo. So
Plot armor.
Sure,
she didn't get burned. What was she covered in asbestos or something? She didn't get burned in the battle. There was fire
Maybe she's
literally
part
that went
Targaryen,
by
too.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just dove in
She
the
kept
ground. She
dodging,
became a mole.
man. Yeah.
Hid underground.
Oh, so she went Naruto style
Yeah.
and Naruto versus Neji.
Yep.
So you
Gross.
saw her like jump behind a wall as the fire was coming. And the
No,
fire
no,
came
no.
around the
She
corner,
didn't-
but somehow just wide enough of a turn to miss her.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
That's how it works,
That
right?
kind of heat that melted
The
iron,
throne? Yeah.
that close would have boiled her alive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, it's plot armor.
Absolutely.
Plot armor.
But I'm fine
And
because
she got the Batmobile at the end of the episode with the white horse, so, I mean,
Perfect.
What was with the horse?
she's Batman.
Yes.
Everything that we say about Arya can be summed up. She is Batman.
I don't mind it. I love Arya.
But
I
who am
do.
I? I can't say.
I was gonna say Tyrion for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
that
So-
works.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's
Perfect.
a good
It
fit.
fits.
Yeah, that's definitely a
All
good
right.
fit.
Plus, I feel like he's always telling jokes even when jokes shouldn't be told, and I feel like that is literally you. So,
What? Me?
yes, you.
Telling inappropriate jokes?
Always.
Fine,
Um,
yeah, that's fair.
What was the joke? Last year.
You're gonna have to be. What was the
Well-
joke from last year? You're gonna have to be a little more specific.
What, when the burlesque girls were going down in the elevator?
Well, no, it's the one you always said it, and it really made.
Well, I'll
your
say it.
sister
I'll
angry.
say it at some point tonight.
Oh,
so.
you mean liquor? I barely know.
Yes,
it.
there we go.
Classic.
Hey,
Every time I say liquor now, I like I default. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Okay.
Let's start off with good things about the episode.
Okay.
Are we just talking finale? Because
Or
last
should we
we
do
talked about
finale
Game of
seasons?
Thrones
Well,
is
last-
after episode 2.
Yeah, so we talked after episode 2, so we hadn't seen Battle of Winterfell.
So we can talk about our feelings on that too.
Hands
So-
down, my favorite
just-
episode.
And
Final
we,
season?
We don't have to really do
Yeah.
anything besides episode 3 and episode 6.
Yeah, I
We
was
can
gonna say
just do
mostly
those two.
finale, but like just to touch on Battle of
Yeah.
Winterfell because I think to
Well-
just skip over it like it didn't exist. I feel
What
like
about Daenerys forgetting about the Iron Fleet? Like D&D said in the interview at the end, oh, Dany just kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet, so she lost a fucking dragon.
Yep. Yeah.
it sucks, bro.
It's ridiculous.
Oh shit, they're there?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
They were on the map that they were taking
Yeah.
everything off. They were on the map. She didn't forget about them. It's lazy writing.
I don't think.
okay.
Why does she have to forget? Why couldn't she just not know they had giant ass crossbows on the boats?
That too. She could have been going to burn.
yeah,
the
Iron
like
Fleet.
the boats can't
Yeah.
hurt her dragons if they don't have the big giant crossbows. So.
Yeah, because it's lazy writing.
So that could have been surprise, and then that would have, explained why.
and it
She
would have
lost a
made her
dragon.
maybe a little more tactical. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
speaking,
it would make sense, because if she would have had 2 dragons at the end, it would have been
The same, but two
It'd been too
times as
much.
fast.
Yeah.
because that one dragon did all that damage, just one. If
It
she
was the
would've had
biggest
2,
one. It was the only one that wasn't ever kept in chains or captivity.
Yeah.
So it was the biggest one. It was the one with the most independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if she would have had 2, it would have just been
It would
even
have just
more.
been twice as fast. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have changed anything, really.
Arya
it
might
would've-
have got burned. She could have got burned.
No,
Yeah.
she wouldn't have because she's Batman.
She's Batman.
Batman beats Superman somehow, so she's Batman.
Yeah, that's weird. Still haven't watched the movie.
Night
I don't
Night
have
King
any.
is Superman, Arya is Batman, Batman won. There we go.
okay, well,
True.
I think Arya killing the Night King was awesome. Like, I think I agree what you're saying with like the fire in the city, like that. Not really realistic, but I feel like she's stealthy AF, so to like sneak up on him and just like when she dropped the freaking dagger into her other hand.
That part was good,
Yeah.
but it could have been great. And here's how it could have been great is if she had killed one of the generals, taken his face, and then before he gets to Bran, take off the face instead.
and runs.
But realistically, she didn't have time to do all that.
Yeah.
Like she's running from the middle of, like she was inside Winterfell. She had to get out
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
unnoticed.
She was with like a dying barrack and.
Yeah.
at that
But then
point.
that's the other
But she's
issue.
Batman.
But that's the other issue is how did she get out there without being
'Cause
noticed?
I actually did not expect that.
Because she's Batman.
Because I remember her being in that room
Yep.
And then you're like, well, we haven't seen Arya lately.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, and then they did an endgame moment where Doctor Strange held up the one finger and said, "This is the one timeline," and Melisandre did, "Well, you got to go kill him now." So
Yeah, blue eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I said when we were getting close. I was like, we haven't seen Arya in a while. Maybe she'll, because we all were like, oh, everyone's about to die right now. Like, this is it. And then we're like, well, we haven't seen Arya in a while. Maybe she'll come out and do something. I didn't really expect her to do that necessarily, but I expected her to do something.
and I didn't even pick up on it because Night King is up with Bran, and then all of a sudden he's like reaching for his sword or whatever he has,
yeah,
and
it's a
then
sword. It's a nice sword.
you see the wind blowing through one of the general's hair.
Yep.
I didn't even pick up on that. I didn't like think, because he also looked back, and I didn't think anyone was actually there.
Right.
I thought it was just wind, because it was windy as fuck there too. But then, yeah, then you're like, oh, we haven't seen Arya, and then all of a sudden here she is flying.
Yeah,
Through
that
the
was
air.
that was like that
Yeah.
was such a like moment though. Like we were all of us were minus Zwack, you weren't here that night. But we were all sitting here, and when she flies through the air, we all jumped up and started cheering for her, and then he caught her by the neck, and we all sat
like,
down, like,
oh,
oh
no.
shit,
Oh,
it's
no.
over. And then she drops the fucking dagger and stabs him, and we jumped right back up. It was
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
intense. So I don't even if it, realistically, she shouldn't have gotten out there without getting probably fucked up by some, like, dead people, I think that the series should have ended on that, honestly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, everything
Yeah.
after that
Yeah.
was garbage.
Yes.
It was. It was
Um,
trash.
I really like what they did with the dagger drop because it really calls back to last season when she was fighting Brienne, where she dropped her sword into her other hand and took her out. And Brienne is really the best knight in all of Westeros. I mean,
Oh,
she
yeah.
is
Hashtag
a
girl
knight
power.
now. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Jamie should have texted her back, but whatever.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
So when she was writing in the book in the last episode, I
Yeah.
really wanted her to be like, and father to my child that I'm now pregnant with, to like make that storyline kind of somewhat seem like it
Go
had a-
somewhere.
Go
Yeah.
Yeah,
somewhere.
because
Yeah.
like he
Jamie
literally
would
just
have
like
a legacy. And, yeah.
he really
Yeah.
just hit it and ran. Like that's
Yeah.
exactly what he did.
He
And
hit it
him being like a
quit
good
it.
guy and having this really nice character development at the end, just like doing that to
Reverse
Brienne
that.
and then going back to fucking Cersei
Cersei.
bitch. Like no, like he
Fuck
shouldn't
you,
have
I'm
gone
going
back.
even though she just sent Braun to kill me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything season 8, episode 4 and before, great storytelling with Jamie, great acting by Nikolaj, and it was just all around an
Yeah.
amazing character. He was
Yeah.
honestly probably 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th favorite character, and
You just have that list mastered.
Yeah.
I have like one favorite
well,
character.
there's Tyrion and
Obviously.
Arya who are the same, and then there's Ramsay Bolton because
Oh my
What
god.
the dick?
the actor
Wow.
did so well
He
to
did.
make me hate him.
Okay.
did.
But
So
that
basically,
doesn't make me like the
Joffrey.
character. That means that the actor did a good job.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
also a really good
It's like Joffrey.
villain.
Yeah, I don't like Joffrey either.
It's like Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos is a great character,
Doesn't mean I like him.
except for in Endgame. I don't want to get in on that, but Thanos was a great character because he was so complex, and everything that Ramsay did was just amazing, and I loved him. And
He made you hate him.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, he did
Yeah.
a great job. And I think I brought this up on the last podcast too. I don't remember, but
Oh, and
I just
Davos,
remember
love Davos.
after seeing because I just got into Game of Thrones like 2 months ago, and
Yeah.
I just binged it before this final season. And Ramsay was like my most hated character. Like he was, I mean,
Oh.
Joffrey might still take number 1. Ramsay was like a close second.
Yeah.
I'd almost
then
say
I
they're on the same
watched-
level.
Yep. And
I
then I
think-
watched that Motley Crue biopic thing, and that actor who plays Ramsay played Mick Mars in that movie.
Really?
And I saw him, I was like, oh, motherfucker.
Did you know the actor that played Ramsay actually first like auditioned to be Jon Snow, and he was actually their second choice for Jon Snow?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like those characters could not be any different.
No.
Another
no.
person whose storyline went nowhere in the last season.
Yep.
Jon
Yeah.
Snow.
Oh, they're
Yep.
gonna say Ramsay. I was like, well, yeah.
Well,
He's
yeah.
dead.
Yeah. He did. Same with Rickon.
He's Alpo now. It's dog food.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I think as far as the Joffrey Ramsay comparison, I would say Ramsay I think is more sadistic than Joffrey, but Joffrey was just much more of a little bitch that he annoyed me more.
Yeah, but he
Is-
was more sadistic, cunning, intelligent,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a whiny little bitch.
Exactly.
Right, right. That's
Yeah.
I'm just going based off of just like my hatred for that character. I would say they're on the same level. Not just the way they were able to act and make me hate a character so much. They're on the same level
They
for
both
me.
did a great job. Ramsay
Ramsay
he
made
took
me
it to a
love
whole
Theon
new
again.
level.
Well, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
hard to do.
Yeah.
And
I
he
didn't
did.
really love him. I just felt
Like,
bad for him, and then I was like, now I'm just neutral.
I
Yeah, but
hated
then he
Theon.
saved Sansa, and he wouldn't have saved Sansa if he hadn't gone through all the torture with Ramsay.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have saved Yara if he hadn't gone through all the torture with Ramsay. It really humbled him because
yeah.
he was basically Euron, but younger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before, where he was a cocky little shit. And
But I have to say when he was meek.
Reek.
Or Reek.
Reek.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that part of
Reek,
the books
it-
is a lot harder to read.
Oh, it bugged me
It's-
so much.
It's like it's unsettling when you
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
when you read it in the books. When I get to the Reek chapters, I kind of have to put it down after and just kind of decompress and be like, that is depressing and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's hard. It's
Oh.
hard to read
Yeah.
because you get point of views of Reek in the books and how
Oh, okay.
terrified he is of Ramsay, and
God.
yeah, it's hard to read those books.
Yeah.
So, as far as the actual finale episode goes, I think everyone listening to this podcast, if you haven't been on social media, go on it and you'll see everyone in like the English-speaking world hates it.
Oh, Akko. Time.
Well, we know Akko doesn't get an opinion because he likes fireworks. It was
Still haven't seen fireworks.
and it don't.
Don't waste your time.
Micah
have it.
says to
No, it's literally a
Aqua keeps
story.
telling me to.
No,
and
it's a story about nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't
so
go
was
anywhere.
Seinfeld, and people love Seinfeld.
No, but
This was no sign.
no, it's garbage.
No.
But okay, so I think it's no secret that we don't like it. I think we should talk about either what we were like expecting versus what happened and like why it was such a letdown. Because I mean, nobody really likes it, so I don't think that's a surprise. But for me, like, I would have preferred everyone to be dead. Like, I wanted to be moved. I wanted it to be so emotional. I wanted it to be riveting, and I feel like it wasn't. I feel like they were
Yeah.
trying to give everyone a happy ending, which,
Yeah.
based on the rest of the show, no one should have gotten a happy
I
ending.
mean,
Like, that's not what happened.
Everybody as in the main characters, or everybody as in everybody?
Like the main characters, like the
Okay.
ones that you're following around the whole
Okay.
series.
Who do you think should have sat the Iron Throne then?
I thought it should have been Jon Snow because they were literally like
But
building
then
him
that's
up
not
the whole
everybody
time.
dying.
No.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I don't mean every single character dying. I just
Okay.
feel like it should have been almost everyone was wiped out. I feel like all the remaining Stark children, like the fact that they all lived and all had essentially a quote unquote happy ending. I mean, even Jon Snow, who like doesn't necessarily have a happy ending, but
He is the 1,000th commander of the Night's Watch. So
Yep.
but it's stupid. There's no need to have one at Night's Watch
he
anymore.
was
I
also
feel like
998.
if he wasn't going to get the Iron Throne, he should
Exactly.
have died. He should have died with
Well, I know.
Dany.
Yeah, this isn't going to be popular opinion at all, but this isn't, I guess, what the ideal thing would be. This is what I thought was going to happen. I thought because John kept saying he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. And they're like, well, you don't have a choice. I thought after he killed Dany, he was going to move on and, like, leave it to Sansa.
Well,
Like, I know
I knew she
that
was going for
wouldn't
the North.
happen.
She
I
wouldn't
I
leave the
wouldn't
North.
have liked Sansa as
no,
sitting the
but
throne.
that's where I saw it going, but I was
I think
dead
hers was the
wrong.
only one that was predictable enough to me where I wasn't surprised by the fact that she was, because there was no way she
Yeah.
was leaving the North after everything that had
Arya's
happened.
was predictable too, because in last season she talked about, she asked, well, what's west of Westeros? Because someone was like, well, what do you want to do when your kill list is done? And she's like, well, what's west of Westeros? That's what I
Yeah.
want to do. I want to keep
Yeah.
being a badass and
Yeah.
go kill more people and
Yeah.
you know,
Venture.
yeah, just be an adventure and have my own spin-off show.
I don't know, I guess even when like finales aren't necessarily sad, I feel like they should still make me feel sad because it's like the end of something, and I didn't even feel that. Like, it was so disappointing that I couldn't even feel sad that the show was ending.
Like the finale of Scrubs when they did the Book of Love, the song The Book of Love, to a montage
Yeah.
of everything that
Entire-
happened for the rest, and that was a really
Yeah.
good ending, a really heartfelt ending.
Same with like Friends when they're in
Of
the
all
empty
the 8
apartment.
seasons of Scrubs.
Yeah, ninth one didn't happen.
Yes.
Even like with Friends, like that's not like that much of an emotional show, but it was so emotional when it was ending. Like they're all standing in the empty apartment, and you're like, oh my god, can't believe it's over. And then Game of Thrones, which has literally made you feel so many things this entire journey, and it's trying to like pull at your heartstrings constantly, and then to have that ending just be so monotone, I was like,
Actually, I would have liked an ending where nobody got the throne.
oh, that
Well,
doesn't
no
make-
one gets the throne, actually.
Yeah, the throne
But-
burns.
Akko, so you don't think that anybody should have sat the throne? That's your choice for, like,
The dragon melted it, the city was destroyed. Like,
who
it
do
would
you
have been
think
great
should
to
have
been
been
like,
king?
huh?
Who do you think should have been king? Or
I
do you
feel
think
like
they
they
should
should
have
have
split
ended
up?
it and they should have been split.
Should have split up back into the 7 kingdoms, like 7 independent
Yep.
kingdoms.
People kind of just going like, well, we kind of just screwed everything up and then just,
I think
split
that's dumb,
into
though.
like that.
Like, because here's
I
the
would've
thing.
liked that.
I would have preferred that over what happened.
Yeah.
Over
I don't,
Raisin
because
Bran the king.
Yep.
The North, like the North
No,
had
that was an awesome ending. You were wrong, Zwack.
the North, like that whole TV show was about the North trying to break free, and the other none of the other kingdoms were trying to do that. I feel like at the end, if they all would have been separate, it would have been nothing for the North.
Well, yeah.
Like, then the North didn't get its victory after all these seasons.
Well, yeah, they did. They're separate.
Yeah, but like they had to try so hard, and everyone else was just gonna get it anyway. Like they wouldn't have had to do.
Well, what about the Greyjoys? They wanted to be separate the whole
Yeah.
time too. They had 2 rebellions against the throne beforehand with
Like, it should have been like everybody
Theon's
on
dad against Robert, and then this one where Theon's dad was against Joffrey. And
I don't know, I just feel like it should have ended where, basically, what it is, John leaves, everybody, Daenerys is gone, they all get together and be like, we don't trust anybody here, and they just separate. Because they're like, no, like, this is pointless.
Yeah.
but then there'd just be more war. And
Yeah, that's
whole
not an
thing-
ending to a story. That's
the whole
just
thing
No.
is that there's not supposed to be more war, and it's supposed to be a
Time of
peaceful,
peace.
safe Westeros.
Just let it be more war.
no. That's,
War is a constant.
Yeah.
There's
So-
gonna be more, but I think I don't know. I feel like okay. So the 3 main people vying for the throne this last season were Dany, Jon, and Cersei trying to keep it. I
Yeah.
think one of those, like only one of those 3, should have survived if that person was going to get the throne. If none of those 3 were going to be on the throne, I think they all should be dead.
Well, Bob, what do you think? Who do you think should have sat the Iron Throne or been?
I like how you keep doing air
Quote,
quotes as if our
unquote.
listeners can see that.
Yeah. Quote unquote Iron Throne.
Yes.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote Iron Slag.
Quote unquote, pile of molted rock.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a difficult one because I don't think John should have taken it. I know Dany, they turned her into the Mad Queen, so there would just be more war of her trying to quote unquote liberate everyone.
Yeah.
So that just means that she's gonna turn into Hitler.
Yeah, her speech was very Hitler at the
Yeah.
end.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
so...
see,
Yeah.
like if they wouldn't have taken that twist with her at the end, I would have preferred her on the Iron Throne.
It was a fine twist that shouldn't have happened over 3 episodes.
Yeah,
it should have
exactly.
happened over 3 seasons.
Because yeah, you
Yes.
built her up for 8 seasons, and then in the last 2 episodes, just basically, well, fuck her.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't mind
showed
because
us
people
minded.
were like, "Oh, you destroyed the greatest character. You destroyed this character." Like, I loved that she did make that turn and turned into the Mad Queen, so to speak. And
Me too.
but
It
then
was
when we
just
got
too
to the
fast.
end too, and when John killed her, I felt nothing. Like
Yeah.
there was no emotion that came out of me when he killed her. Like the only emotion was when, was it Drogo? What's the name of the dragon?
Drogon.
Drogon came up and was like nudging her and realized
Yeah, that was
his
the only
mother was
sad
dead.
part.
That was a
Yeah.
sad part, but otherwise I didn't feel anything about her death.
No.
And I feel like what you said, if they would have built that up over 3 seasons and made it longer, I might have felt something.
Well, they didn't build it up, but they gave us hints.
Yes,
But it wasn't, it was way too quick at the end.
Yeah.
It was like a balance. They were trying to make it a balancing act. They were trying to show that the character could tip. And basically, this last season, they really rushed it, trying to say, like, basically the final weight has been put on the scale and she's tipped the wrong direction. That's what they were trying to say. But because it was such a short time, you didn't get to feel that transition. You just all of a sudden was like, whoa, she's burning a city.
Yep.
Like 0 to 100 real
So
fast.
I have a theory as to why that happened. About 3-4 years ago, D&D sat down with George R.R. Martin because he hadn't finished the books, and they asked, okay, how does the story end? So he gave them the bullet points. He gave them a rough outline.
Yeah.
Bran sits the Iron Throne. Daenerys goes mad. Jon Snow kills her. Jon Snow goes back, and he's the 1000th Lord Commander. The North is free. Yada, 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 all that stuff. And the problem is, I don't think they knew what to do with it. They were fantastic in the first 5 seasons where they had something to adapt.
Yeah.
And the last thing that they got specifically from George R.R. Martin himself was Hodor and Hold the Door.
Oh.
And
Hodor for king.
honestly, I feel like minus Battle of the Bastards, that was the last good part of the entire series. The whole plot thread of them bringing a zombie from the north down to south to show Cersei and try to get her on her side, I honestly, when I first saw that, I thought it was a joke. I thought they were going to be like, haha, no, let's find a real plan. But that's the one that they went with. And Tyrion, in the last 3 seasons, tried to reason with Cersei 3 times.
Yeah.
And the first 5 seasons, his whole thing was Cersei cannot be reasoned with. She has to be, like, danced around, and I have to sell Marcella to the Dornish, but I have to tell Maester Pycelle that I'm selling her to the Dornish. I need to tell Littlefinger I'm selling her to the Eyrie, and I need to tell Varys I'm going to sell her to the North. And then, so that he could figure out who was her, spy.
Okay.
And Tyrion tried to reason with her, and that just wasn't his character. And I feel like they're great adapters, but not great writers. Which makes me worried for the next Star Wars movies because they're writing them. But I'm naively optimistic.
I'm gonna try to keep an open mind.
So yes, the after Battle of Winterfell it's really bad. But my standpoint on this is that their cinematography is amazing.
Yes.
This season,
cinematography, acting,
Yep.
costumes,
Like,
everything is amazing.
this
but
is
the
a
writing.
whole new level of TV show watching.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they raised the bar insanely.
Just watching those episodes on how they make the episodes,
Yeah.
like I was blown away. They're like, well, to get this, we have to do this and this and this, and I'm like, how do you even think of that?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you?
Like the way they
it
built
blew
the
me away.
dragons, the time and effort they put into the CGI,
Westeros got its first Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that the Battle of Winterfell. So I know Battle of the Bastards was also a very good battle.
Yes.
I think Battle of Winterfell for me, like just like cinema wise, was so much better. Like it was so like up and down. It made me feel something, and it was so like just appealing to watch. Like that first scene where the Dothraki go out with their flame swords, and you just see the flames out. I was like, shit, this episode is gonna be a mess. Like as far as like up and down, up and down, up and down. And I think that they did an amazing job with that. So as much as I think more people should have probably died.
I was gonna say,
Absolutely.
but who really died?
Yeah.
Right.
Jorah.
So I think so more people should have died, but
But
And
I
Beric,
think the
I
way
guess,
they made it
but-
was like it was beautifully made. It was so like enticing.
the
to
way
watch
they were
the whole
able to
time.
make you feel that you didn't know what was happening,
That
the way
everything was
you're
lost.
yeah, that everything was lost, and the way they kept lowering that bar, that you're like, oh, we're doomed. Oh, we're even more doomed. We're even wait, bar can go even lower than that.
But the thing is, the way that they did it was like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Where at the beginning we thought, oh shit, we might be able to do this with the flaming swords, and then the Dothraki quote unquote half of the Dothraki got killed.
I think it would have
looked
meant
like-
more if they all got killed because I wanted to see
Or
like
a few stragglers, because you saw a few ride back.
So
That's
then
fine, but, like-
that was a low point, and then another high point was Dany and Jon going out to burn the zombies, but then winter came and they couldn't see anything, and there was a big snowstorm, so that was down again. So then another high point was when they lit the moat on fire so that they couldn't get past, so then they were shooting flaming arrows and all that shit.
Then you
they
saw
made a
the
fucking
just
body bridge.
And then they started
Surrounded.
making the body bridge, and then they
them
went-
sacrificing themselves.
Well,
then
and
it
I
went
think-
low again.
Oh.
It was just such a roller coaster.
and then
It
they're
was.
inside, and then
And I
you're like
think-
they're kind of defending it, and then they came through the crypts.
I think it would have
Oh.
meant more like so with Dany's character arc this season. When, like, for example, that first thing with the Dothraki, I think if they would have killed off the Dothraki, that would have meant more to her because those were her
Yes.
people this whole time. If that entire race would have been wiped out, that's like more justification as to why she's pissed. But the fact that it was only half, like, what was she expecting? All the Dothraki to just live? Like, she couldn't have been expecting that. So then why was that so hard? Because then that's when she took the dragon and like ditched the plan and was like, "Fuck, I need to do something because I can't watch these people be slaughtered because these are my people."
And it sure as hell didn't look like half.
No, it looked like they were all gone.
It looked like they're all
She started
dead.
with 10,000 coming across the narrow sea.
Yeah.
And then they had the battle with the Lannisters, which probably lost them maybe about 1,000. Then that one should have lost them like 9,000.
Yeah.
like the rest of them.
Yeah.
Like, I would
Like,
be
there
fine
should
with a
have
few
been, like-
stragglers, that's fine.
like
but
20 or maybe
Yeah.
50 that lived because they rode back and were like, everyone like died. Gotta get out, live, retreat.
We're fucked.
Yep.
Yeah, like when you see that when she gets to King's Landing and you see them all, like riding through, I'm like, where the hell did all these come from? Aren't these all dead by now?
Yeah.
The same with the Unsullied, because
Exactly.
Grey Worm stranded everyone by breaking the bridge and
Yes.
making it so they couldn't come across. And he said that they had 8,000 Unsullied, but when they left Slaver's Bay, they had 8,000 at the start. So why would you say you have 8,000 Unsullied when you...
Maybe he's not good with numbers. He just keeps it the same.
Yeah, maybe.
He's just saying there's a
Maybe.
lot.
We have approximately 8,000.
Yeah. So that there should have been, like, basically nobody left, honestly. And with how much zombies were, you know, in the
They were coming in
town,
waves.
like,
too.
And that would have made the Battle of the Bells a lot better. So
Yes.
here's how you fix the Battle of the Bells is you have 1,000 Dothraki, 1,000 Unsullied, 1,000 Northmen, and be
that's
like,
it.
that's our army, and we're supposed to fight this chick, and then you're supposed to make it so that Cersei isn't backing down.
Yes.
They're giving Dany no choice but to
Yeah.
start burning the forces. And then make it so that there was collateral damage instead of her just going yeet all over the town.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think they were trying to, like, her, if she had no other choice and then she proceeded to do what she did, yes, it would have made more sense for her character, but as far as what they were trying to convey, they were trying to make it seem like she was the Mad Queen and had to be killed. Like, she had to be executed. If she had no other
Yeah.
choice, a lot of people would not have blamed her. Like, they'd be like, well, you didn't have a choice. Like, she should have felt bad about it, yes, but then it wouldn't justify the end of her getting murdered because she shouldn't have, like, if that was her only choice, that doesn't lead to that.
Well, when she starts burning the Lannister army would be when they would start ringing the bells.
Yeah.
And then she wouldn't stop because maybe she couldn't hear the bells over the fire and...
But again, that's not her fault then. That's still saying that was her only choice and she didn't actually go mad. They wanted to make it look like she had lost her shit.
it should have been, if you were going with that, it should have been, she should have saw the bells ringing. Like, you get a snap pic of her, like, looking at the bell or something, you know, while she's burning, and then just see, like, maybe a thought process. Maybe she quits the fire and then just goes right back into
Or
it.
maybe she goes after Cersei, and then the Red Keep collapses. Cersei
Yeah.
dies there. Maybe not. Maybe she's in the basement, whatever. And then Jaime kills her, but the whole Jaime and her dying in each other's arms was really dumb.
Yep.
Anyway, but instead of that, she goes for the Red Keep. There's so many civilians around the Red Keep. The rubble kills all of them. Then she's blamed for all of that. And then instead of looking weak and backing down and saying, my bad, that's my fault, I killed all those kids, I killed all those women, I killed all those civilians, then her just owning up to it and saying, no, I did what I had to do. And then that would have been her descent into quote-unquote madness, and that would have been why Jon had to kill her,
I mean,
because
if
she killed all
yeah.
those innocents,
Yeah.
not...
If they would have had more time to convey that, but because
Yeah.
they didn't, like, they had to make her seem like she lost her
Right.
shit, so that in the very next episode, Jon Snow could kill her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it
It
didn't
should have been
time.
drawn out more, and
It should have been 12 episodes,
I mean,
a normal season.
I was
length.
fine with it being shorter in the fact that the episodes were longer and they were all very well made.
it should have been
Yeah.
9 seasons.
But right.
What's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, then they should have started
Yeah.
this, like, they shouldn't have tried to fit the Battle with the Dead and the Battle for the Throne in one season of 6 episodes. That's too
Yes.
much for
Yeah.
that. And they did a good job with the episodes they made, but as far as, like, they are made well, but like I think you said, like, the writing was the problem. The story is
Yes.
the problem, not the actual cinematography or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
of it.
They're adapters, not writers, is
Yeah.
the problem. And now they're writing the new Star Wars, the Old Republic series, and the more I talk about them, the sadder I get about that. So let's not.
Let's have
Yeah.
Akko jump in with his one happy thing that he claims saves the finale.
Oh my
Boo.
god. I mean, it was
John Pet's Ghost! John Pet's Ghost! Woo! Go Ghost!
Yeah, John should have been dead. So
Yeah, right. Like, I was happy
What?
I was happy for Ghost, but
Ghost should have ripped his throat out.
That's exactly what I was about to
There we
say.
go.
I think you should have done that. Oh, and now you're gonna
Bit his
pet me,
hand,
bitch?
like,
Yeah.
yep.
Like, look at that stank face you gave me last episode, and now you're gonna come up and pet me? Fuck you. That's what I think should have happened.
Whose endings were you satisfied with?
Whose ending was
Ghost.
I? Ghost.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Well,
Sansa.
Yep.
Sansa, Arya, I was fine with them.
Yep.
So I can understand why they went with Bran. I can understand why.
I'm sitting back
I
for
can't.
this.
No.
I can't.
No.
So, go on.
Okay.
Okay.
Slay is an incredible writer. That's why they went with Bran.
You would have
No,
done
you're
better
on-
than D&D, so yeah.
Well,
No, she
And
fucking jinxed
technically-
it. That's why we got this reject ending, is because Slay said it was happening.
but
so
she
way
just
to
said it was
jinx us.
happening, but they're the ones who wrote it, so she's on par with those two.
Yeah.
Gross.
So-
You know, one of them wrote the X-Men Origins, so just an FYI.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
so
Okay.
the Wolverine Origins
Oh.
movie.
Okay.
So just letting you know
Okay.
that's that's what we're working with here.
Okay,
So,
so your
Okay.
take on Bran.
so my take on Bran
Raisin Bran.
Yep, Raisin Bran.
You mean the Bran the Broken?
Bran the Raisin Bran the Broken. The two wheels.
The Tree of the North.
The Tree of the North.
The unable to get it up.
The three-eyed branch.
Side note, Danny wanted to break the wheel, so they have a king that has two wheels.
But if she broke one, he can't get around.
No.
Anyway,
Then
so-
she's just mean. That's just kicking him while he's down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the
But-
Mad Queen. I would have, you know what, if she came up and fucking broke his
That
fucking
would have been
wheels,
justified to kill her.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but I would be satisfied with that.
That would have been hilarious.
So my understanding, I can understand why they went Bran, because it makes sense for somebody who knows all of history to be king, to give
Does
peace.
it?
I wouldn't mind
if you-
him to be
in
in like
realistic
a council.
Hand of the king.
Yeah.
Or
The
okay,
hand
He
or
would have been a good
just in the
hand
council.
of the king.
Yeah.
but
And Tyrion
Master of
be
Whisperers.
the king.
but
Being
it's-
able to look into all the raisins.
Because here's the
and
thing,
being
he
the
never
Master of
tried to do
Whisperers.
anything to change it. Like, he was saying, this is, like, he
Yes.
wheeled himself to King's Landing saying, I already know what's going to happen. He could have said, like, hey, guys, BT dubs, this dragon's going to burn a bunch of innocent
A
people. I've
million-
seen it
Yes,
happen.
yes.
If that is
But he
true,
didn't change it.
Bran is fucking evil. He is the most evil character
Yeah.
that we have seen
my
in the
God,
entire
Yes.
show.
If he,
Yes.
like, he knew what was going to happen.
But,
and his
okay.
opinion is, it can't be changed.
I'm just standing from, just king for peace. It would be, he knows the past, he knows the mistakes. Every other king has made mistakes. He knows the mistakes, and he won't replicate them because he knows them.
You don't
That's
know that.
why,
Because what did
He's
he do at the
evil.
end? What did
Yes,
he do at
yes,
the end of
yes.
the episode? Instead of being with his council and talking about shit that they need to do for repairs, he's like, "Where's that fucking dragon?
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna
find
go
it."
fly as a dragon.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's
Yeah.
do this.
yeah.
so,
no,
okay. No, like, I'm not trying to justify
Okay,
it.
sorry, we're interrupting
Yeah.
you. Go on.
So I'm not, they're trying to justify it. I can just see where they were trying to go. They're like, oh, it makes sense. If somebody knows all of history, they can prevent those mistakes from happening, so you'd have a more peaceful future. I can see what they were trying to do, but it doesn't work because of all those other things. Why didn't he
They got
intervene
rushed and it got
earlier?
shitty.
Why didn't he try and stop other stuff? Why did he have to be so secretive?
And I would have been fine
So-
with it if Brandon had a personality.
That too.
Yeah.
He's a wet blanket. He's a literal tree. He's just rolling
Yeah.
around, being all like,
Just stick in the mud.
"Hello, yes,
Yeah.
awkward
Yeah, I don't
stare.
know
I don't blink."
Why that happened?
By the way, the dragon
Well,
is on its
okay.
way, and we need to prepare this.
So, is Bran supposed to be able to see the future? He just is supposed to see the past, right?
Apparently, he can see the future.
But when he said,
Yeah,
why do you think I
whatever.
came all this way? That gave me the impression that, okay, so you're telling me your bitch ass knew how everything was going to go down and said nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's not
Well,
okay.
I mean, with that too
Evil.
it's evil too. But if you have that power and you know that that's going to happen, like preventing it is just going to cause an unknown
yeah.
yeah.
like ending.
Oh yeah, it
But
could
then
be.
as
you don't
king,
know
he
what's
might not
gonna
try to-
actually happen.
And if you
try to
see it
prevent
happen, it might be like time is linear for them in that universe. And honestly, if you see it happen, it's going to happen, and you can't change it. So
But in that case,
No.
then there's no point in if he's the king and let's say he sees these wars are going to happen, but if he believes that there's no way you can change it, no matter what you do, that's the way it's supposed to be, and you can't change it, then what you're saying is, oh, somebody that knows history won't repeat the same mistakes. He thinks the mistakes are inevitable. Like, he thinks the future
Yeah.
is how it's supposed to be, is how it's going to
But
happen.
maybe he can change them, and we just
Yeah.
go back to the whole. He's evil.
He's
I'm gonna
evil.
let this happen because I see
Evil.
myself getting the being king.
Yeah.
So.
last season, he's like, "Oh, I can't be Lord of Winterfell. I want for nothing. Give me that throne, bitch."
Yeah.
My-
I'm coming for that throne.
I wholeheartedly agree with a meme my sister sent me, which said that Bran is that kid in the group project that does no effort but still gets the A.
Hey, that's me.
You are Bran.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you're
Oh my
Tyrion.
god.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Tyrion.
So that's what
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
take on it was.
And-
I could see where they're going, but
Yeah.
Right.
I should say
It didn't
because you
land.
asked me who I thought should be on the Iron
Yeah.
Throne, and I danced around it. I don't know. Still, I'm going with Tyrion though, because I think he
That's been
out of the
legit.
entire show, besides Danny was worse at it. Tyrion was better. He's the one who had the most, like the best public relations. He's like gone everywhere and like
not to mention he learned from his mistakes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
he could.
He was
easily
one of
been
the
good.
only characters who actually learned from their mistakes.
Yeah.
And
So he could have been actually a pretty good king.
so. I think that would have fit the story, like with Tywin
Yeah,
as well.
and
too,
I think that they could have done
going
that.
back to that.
I think the only reason that at that council where they were deciding who to be king, the only reason that Tyrion wasn't even an option is because fucking Grey Worm had a stick up his ass. Like,
Yeah.
why does Grey Worm even get a say? Quite honestly, like he was
who the hell is he?
he was Dany's like commander for the military, but why does that make him? He's not like a lord or lady. Then that's who was sitting on that court. Like, I think the fact that nobody was even like, maybe Tyrion. Like, why? Like, he has an actual relationship with almost every single one of those characters in some fashion, and they know that he's a like good-intentioned person.
Yeah.
Nobody knows anything about Bran because he never has conversations with anybody. He just sits and rides around in birds.
And
Like,
it
that's
just
all he does.
upset me with Bran's character just when he's back at Winterfell and all the siblings are coming back, all the Starks are coming back, and they see him and they're just so happy because all the shit they went through, and they go to hug him and he's just like.
For those of you who can't see, I'm doing the Bran face where
Yes.
just staring off and
Yep.
No expression.
unblinking,
Staring off.
no expression.
Yep. I mean, I can use my arms, but I'm not gonna hug them back because fuck them. I'm the three-eyed raven. I'm
Well,
a tree.
Not to mention, it was so short. It was just like, everybody's so happy. He's just like, zombie dragon's on its way.
I can't be
Million
happy
people.
anymore.
Yeah.
And you know, I know that the show is really good for girl power because they had, Dany was a powerhouse the whole time. I know Sansa got Queen of the North, and I know
Cersei was a
Whatever.
powerhouse. Brienne was
Cersei, yeah.
the first female knight.
Arya like killed the Night King. So I get that they're good with girl power, but I would have preferred literally any other character besides Bran to sit on the Iron Throne. But like, why couldn't they make it a girl? Why was it like they started like all giving their speeches and nobody even once was like, maybe this female. Like that was never one of the options because it had to be a king. Which I'm like,
Because
I loved
Lyanna
when
Mormont is dead.
I loved when
why.
Brendan Tully stood up
yes.
and he was giving his speech, and Sansa's just like, sit your bitch ass
Yeah.
down. So
Best line of the episode.
Where
Yeah.
was his speech trying to go for make him be king?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was
Yes.
trying to say like, oh, I will take it on. I'll step up.
yeah,
and
if
do
no
this.
one
And
else
Sansa's
is
like-
gonna,
Yeah.
step
Okay,
up.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who even is this? I didn't even recognize him. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
how
It's
like,
Brandon Tully.
Yeah.
Robin's Aaron was there too. The breast milk kid.
Yeah.
Not Tormund, the other breast milk
Yeah.
kid.
Tormund for king. What the hell?
But okay, so who I think should have sat the Iron Throne was Gendry or Gendry is whatever you guys say, because in the narrator for the audiobooks calls him Gendry, but Gendry, I think it should have been him. He was legitimized. I think Jon Snow should have died. I think that Daenerys should have died like she did. Jon Snow maybe getting eaten by Drogon or burned by Drogon or killed because he killed Daenerys, and they're starting a whole new regime of Baratheon again because honestly, looking at all the other rulers, Robert Baratheon wasn't that bad.
So
But I also think that it would have been a better character arc for Tyrion to be the hand of the king for him. Because it was never really stated that he's Lord of Casterly Rock. He obviously is, but his father always told him that you will never be Lord of Casterly Rock.
Yeah.
I fucking hate you, and you will not be Lord of Casterly Rock. You killed your mother in the womb. So you.
yeah.
For him to end at being
So
that.
here's my spicy take on this. I'm going with Arya's pregnant. She's gonna come back with a Baratheon baby, and that baby's next in line. That's where I'm going.
See, but now there is no next in line. Now there's the Lords of Westeros. Now it's a republic democracy.
Yeah.
And no representative democracy now, where the Lord of the Eyrie votes and the Lord of Dorne votes, and who the hell was that Dornish guy?
I don't. That's what I was
for
wondering.
real.
I think it was Oberon's brother, but
I thought they were all dead.
Yeah.
So how about the Clegane Bowl? That was something.
that was something.
It was. Yeah. It was.
The only thing I liked about it was that I
It was a
liked
fight,
that the
I
Hound
guess.
died by fire. I
Yes.
did like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That was good.
he should have died by fire, but we should have seen them die by fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not jumping into a blazing inferno, going out, pew pew pew, guns blazing with the dragon, with Dany riding the whip on the dragon behind him, and he should have taken the torch that was behind them on the wall, burned his brother, and then while his brother was burning, his brother lights him on fire, and it's just a poetic end because his whole character.
Hugs him and just like
Yeah,
they burn
and doesn't let
together.
go, and they burn together, and because
Or even if they do that, and then he does the tackle, and they're both on fire falling.
and his whole character arc was his resentment for his brother, and because his brother burned his face when he was 4 years old,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he just had such a sunny disposition after that, and I was disappointed by that fight. I got really scared that we were gonna get Oberon
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Gallagher Watermelon
2.0.
2.0,
Yeah.
and that
Wait,
made me
what?
very worried.
Eyes.
With
The eyes.
He's
Pushing
gonna
the eyes
Oh,
in.
have to
yeah.
explode his freaking
Yeah.
head. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
his secret move. It's his
Sure. Yeah.
it's his special ability. If he was a shonen character, he'd be like head squash extreme.
Head squash.
He also did his other secret move where he grabbed him by the face and killed Qyburn by slamming his head.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was his other special move. You know, you got to have more than one.
God, more.
That was his
Back
shadow
up.
clone, and then the crushing the head was his Rasengan. You know.
There we go.
And I don't get okay, so when they're talking about who should be king, right? So little bitch ass gets up and tries to take it, gets shot down right away.
Yeah.
Why is Bran literally the only other person that even had anything said? Why didn't anyone say anything about Gendry? It'd be one thing if they gave reasons as to why these other people weren't, but they didn't. They were just oh, wheelchair kid, yep, let's give it to him. We feel bad for him.
They're like
Yara
Tyrion.
should have stood up and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
hey, I want it.
exactly.
And then they're like, well, I mean, you don't really have a good track record for ruling. You lost your throne to your uncle, and
Yep.
your brother was the better version of you, so why would we want you? And then she sits down, and
There should have been more. Yeah, more.
more
denies.
debate. It was
Yeah.
literally just bitch ass sit down. Tyrion's no, it's wheelchair
You
kid.
sit
And everyone was
down.
yep,
What do you
wheelchair
think,
kid.
Tyrion? We're in the broken. Okay.
Robert Aaron stands up, says, "Does anybody have any milk? I'm thirsty."
And
Yeah.
Tormund's yep, over here.
Yeah.
Tormund shows up in a giant woman's arms.
Yeah, Brienne carrying Tormund back. Okay, I'm wondering how Sam was able to get so many chains. If anybody noticed, he had the Maester chains, and
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to be gotten after years of study at the Citadel, and
Oh.
he just all of a sudden has it.
I think they were just trying to go for the look.
He spent a month at the Citadel and
Yeah.
found out that Jon was supposed to be king, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta tell Jon he's supposed to be king. Let's go,
Yeah.
True.
let's
Although-
go, baby mama, let's go."
To way circle around to the beginning of this podcast, I never said who I thought Akko should be as a character, and I would have actually picked Sam for you. Because I feel he's just kind of a teddy bear. He always means well. He gets along
Sure.
with everybody, but he's always doing the right thing. So that's who I would have picked for you. And
Okay.
Bob, I would have said you were Tormund.
Oh,
I like it.
yeah.
So
I like it.
Tormund.
Yes.
Yeah, she could either be Cersei or Brienne. Slay.
Yeah.
But
Nah,
I feel like
Brienne's
Brienne is
too
too stoic.
reserved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's too stoic. I feel like you're not like a statue.
too.
You're not a
Thank
statue.
you for the example of why you shouldn't be Brienne.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't say mine. Well, your Sansa. I think that was a perfect.
Yeah,
choice.
that's-
and the.
Not.
I mean, this is probably will be debated among people, but for Akko, I was gonna pick Arya just for the fact that I feel like you would be the only one out of us who, if you actually trained to be that stealthy of an assassin, you would succeed.
True.
That's fair.
Because you pick up everything quickly and you can do
True.
everything.
But Jamie was the best knight
Oh,
of the age.
I agree
too.
with
But
that.
Yeah.
still,
I agree with that.
Arya was Batman, so she
Yeah.
beats
Yeah.
Jamie out. So
Yeah, plot armor.
Yeah.
I get
Okay.
plot armor.
she had her utility belt with needle and the Valyrian steel dagger and that spear that
So,
Gendry made her. And
speaking of Arya, why did she only use the face power once?
Yeah, what the
I
dick?
know, that
I
was
wanted.
upsetting.
bad writing.
But I did like when she
Like-
used it. That was awesome. When
Yeah.
she killed
Yeah. Oh, that was epic.
Walder
But
Frey.
why?
And
at
all
no
the other
point-
phrase.
and all the other phrases.
I want her
That
to
was
take one of the
perfect.
freaking White Walkers' faces and just fucking stroll around amongst them. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what would have been cool as well in the Battle of Winterfell is that she takes Bran's face. Bran tells her the plan that he has to die in order for them to defeat the Night King, and then she takes Bran's face and then she peels it off and goes, "Gotcha, bitch," and stabs him.
And that would have solved
I
our
would've
throne
enjoyed
problem
that
at the end too.
Right.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that would have been a more
That
poetic
would've been-
ending with
Yeah, that would have been way
him
better.
being yin and yang versus the Night King, and if both are
Yeah.
dead, then they can just
I thought that
start
because
a
he
new
was the
cycle.
three-eyed raven,
Yeah.
he couldn't be the king. If he's a three-eyed raven, his job is to be the three-eyed raven. Why the
Yeah.
hell is he now
Yeah,
also king?
That too.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
I get.
No.
Children of the Forest are rolling over in their graves right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get them. I feel like they wanted to make it a Stark because from season 1, that's really the family you have the most invested
Yeah.
in. So I think they just wanted to make it a Stark, and he was the only Stark boy left that was a legit Stark. And for some reason, they were like, "Yeah, fucking
Brand.
Brand broken.
I would have loved if they did a Futurama style where they brought out Ned's head in one of those glass containers. And he ruled.
That would have been a better ending.
Also, I want Jamie to have lived so he could be Brand's hand because he doesn't have a hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
And he pushed him out a window.
And that would have made
That'd have been great.
that would have redeemed the ending a bit, because then it would have made him have to give penance for, starting this whole thing by pushing Bran out the window. That was really
Exactly.
the fuse that lit the powder keg.
Yep.
Well, and Littlefinger killing John Aaron in the first season, but that's less of a plot point in this
Bran
series.
getting pushed out is what started the whole. We have to go to King's Landing, and
But not really, because Catelyn wanted Ned to stay.
Yep.
Because she wanted him to help Bran, but he said, no, I need to find Jon's killer, and he never did, because Littlefinger killed him.
yeah.
And I feel like that wasn't really said very well in the books, that he orchestrated both Joffrey's death and Jon Arryn's death. And the show didn't really do Littlefinger justice. The actor was great, but in the books he's a lot more cunning, and like in the show it made it seem like nobody trusted him, but in the books everybody trusts Littlefinger because he's so insignificant and he doesn't hold any titles, and they're like, well,
Make it more dynamic.
what can this guy do?
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that he orchestrates the two biggest deaths in the beginning, and he honestly gives Tywin Lannister the idea to kill Robb Stark too. So like he really orchestrated everything in the books, and in the series they just kind of made him a Sansa fuckboy, and
True.
That
was weird.
That was super weird.
and book Littlefinger would have never given Sansa to Ramsay Bolton, but show Littlefinger was like, I'm not smart, so let's do this. You're gonna get tortured.
Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna get tortured because this is going to give me nothing.
I don't
Makes
know.
sense.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't have like Sansa end up like taking a husband, because I feel like her track record with husbands is fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like Tyrion was legit, but like they never actually like consummated, so they weren't like.
I would have liked it if they got married in the end.
Okay, I guess
That would've
that would be
been
the only guy I would allow, because otherwise, like the other two that she was either supposed to marry or did marry, awful. Like Ramsay and fucking
that
Joffrey.
would
How
save
one
the
person could get
relationship.
cursed with.
Joffrey, Robin, because
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
have united the
Robin.
realm.
That would have united the realm, because then Sansa, would trust the Lannisters because of the wedding, and then even though they're separate, but it still at least there would have been trust.
I thought that's where they were going after the Crips, where she said you were the best of them. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's sad if I was the best.
yeah,
But Tyrion he's the best character.
He really is.
he
And
is.
from season 1 through 5, he was honestly the main protagonist.
Yep.
Yeah,
He defended Casterly Rock. He got Marcella away from Cersei so that she didn't get corrupted. He got Tommen away from Cersei so that he didn't get corrupted.
Yeah, ended so well for both of them.
yeah.
like Joffrey did, and it's
Yeah. I mean, he was in the most. So I saw like an article that said he's in the most episodes and also has interactions with the most amount of characters.
Yep.
So I agree, he is like, quote unquote, the protagonist in that sense. But I think, like that aside, he had the most growth for characters that actually like stuck out till the end. Because a lot of other characters had a lot of growth, like Jaime Lannister, for example. But then it got
Yes.
shit on at the end, so it like doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Jaime and Theon had the most growth, and honestly, between the two, Theon had a better conclusion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted the Night King to kill Bran, and then I wish Arya would have come in like 2 seconds later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then this ending could have been saved. and-
Yep.
Right.
Everything would have been saved.
So I have a question for the group. So I see people online posting that they wasted these 8 seasons watching the show, blah, blah. Just because you know how it ends and you're disappointed with it, would you still recommend this show to somebody else to watch? Like, does the end completely ruin it for you?
Absolutely not. It does
No.
absolutely not ruin the show for me. Seasons 1 through 6 were masterpieces. The cinematography is beautiful. The music is on par with probably John Williams. Would probably be the next person that you could compare the music to. I can't remember the guy's name. It's like a Muslim name, Al-Jawadi or something.
Close enough.
His music scores are amazing. The Reigns of Castamere, every time that there's a Lannister on the screen, is amazing, and It's so subtle. Like, did anybody notice that whenever the Night King was doing something, they played piano? But whenever anybody else was doing anything, they played violin, and the piano was supposed to symbolize like a new age coming, a dark age, and then the violins were supposed to be the rest of everybody else, the good guys. And whenever they played piano, it was when something bad was happening, but when they played the violins, it was when something good was happening. And in the Battle of Winterfell, they were playing piano when they were doing the whole montage showing the rest of the screen or rest of the people, and then in the next episode, they played the same song, but on violin, following Arya.
Ah.
I didn't know that. Although I
cool.
did notice in the last episode the moments that they didn't score it, because I feel like that's a really bold choice. So when Tyrion's walking through the Red Keep, and like essentially he's going to see like if his siblings could have made it out, but there was no music. It was just eerily quiet, and I think him walking through that like destroyed Red Keep, with it being with no music, I think made that scene more impactful.
I think it makes it more powerful as well.
Yes.
That's just how good the show is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cinematography on that is just amazing.
So how about for
all those choices
for you two, Akko and Bob?
I agree with that. It doesn't really ruin the show. I mean, I did tell Slay after that finale, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pressure you into watching it anymore.
Can't take that back either.
And that's fine, but like I did enjoy the show, like you said. Seasons 1 through 6 were fantastic. We were also talking about rewatching the series. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to consider myself out on that. I mean, that finale, like knowing that that's coming up, I'm just like, I don't even want to get into it right now.
And it's just because you're bitter right now.
Yeah.
And I get that.
That will probably...
It's a knee-jerk reaction.
And maybe in the near future,
Yeah.
I'll take that back and go back and start watching them. But just knowing that ending's coming is just heartbreaking for me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Akko?
Since I was, I think I'm probably the most okay with the ending out of all of us.
You're very compliant.
Yeah.
You tried to make the most of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would honestly, give it a watch. It's great. And just thinking about how they filmed it and everything makes me hopeful for future television. Because I'm excited to see where it goes after this.
This and Breaking Bad are the pinnacle of television.
Yep.
Right now.
Like, I honestly will really love to see, like, 10 years from now, like, a documentary on, how television has changed because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is a turning point on TV.
I think, so I have a friend who started watching the show when it first came out and loves the book, so stopped watching the show when the books stopped. And her favorite character is Dany. And she texted me saying she saw a spoiler that Dany went mad and now she doesn't want to watch the rest of the series. And I think that's ridiculous. So that's, I guess, kind of why I wanted to ask the question, because there's so many people that say it was a waste to watch. And I don't agree with that, because the ending sucked, but the journey is worth it. It doesn't really matter in the end, because the journey was still amazing to watch. It was still, like, so well done. And they told an amazing story. It didn't end the way any of us wanted it to, but that doesn't discount the entire story leading up to it.
Really? Your favorite character is Dany? Book Dany is so boring. Like, whenever we get to a part with Dany, I'm just kind of like, okay, when's the next part? Like,
actually, both my friends that read the books, and they both stopped when the book stopped. They stopped watching the show, and both of them, Dany is their favorite character.
Really? The only reason why I like Dany so much is because of Emilia Clarke's portrayal, and it's amazing, and she's a great actress, and eyebrow game is on point, and
she's nice to look at.
Right.
I'll say that.
Did you know that she had a boob double? We never actually got to see her naked.
Oh. What about butt? Is that at least her butt?
No.
God.
No nudity. It's in her contract.
What the shit?
Sorry.
It's amazing how
Bob
many
is
shows actually
disappointed.
do that. Like,
Okay, well, anyway, the double... Oh, yeah. She was nice to look at. I'll say that then.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, either way, she's a beautiful woman, regardless
Oh,
of whether or
yeah.
not we
Oh,
saw her
oh,
naked.
Yeah.
Just to be that female
Exactly.
voice of reason coming from the background.
Also, if you're thinking about reading the books, she does like girl on girl scenes in the books. So
I'm reading the
Ooh,
books.
give that a go.
All
Give that a
right.
try. Her handmaiden shows her how to do stuff. So just letting you know.
Weren't they kind of dancing around that in the show?
Yeah, and then they killed that handmaiden early. And
Yeah.
with
Damn it.
Daro Zoran Daxus or whatever his name is, Zarozoran Daxus, and
I don't even
the
remember
guy
names.
who got locked in the vault in Karth
Yep.
Oh, okay.
because he said, "Oh, I'm the richest man in Karth," but he didn't actually have any money. You know, he's Trump.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Zarozoran Trump. You know.
I would equate this series and ending to like I like how you said Zwack the other day of it being like How I Met Your Mother. Like it was such a good show, and then you got to the end, and you're like, what the fuck? This
Yeah.
can't be how it ends. And I feel like that was the emotion, but still, like I still think the show was great, and it's definitely a top 5 show for me. We all know it's not my favorite, but it's definitely a top 5, even regardless of how.
Top 5 is in favorites.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not my number 1 favorite.
Right, but still, top 5 is
It was
very
it
high
was
praise.
close to gearing that way though for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was getting close, but then it stood still and dropped down a little bit. But
What is
still
your top
top
five?
5?
I mean, I don't know.
Xena.
Man.
Yeah, that's the only one I have
Yeah.
in a place. That's never going anywhere. I'd say Grey's Anatomy because
Okay.
it's the one I followed for so long. Game of Thrones. I want to say Spartacus, although that like is kind of like softcore porn. But
I've never seen
it's
Spartacus.
also by Renpix, which are the creators of Xena. So like, I know almost all the actors in it from that, and like the producers, the music, everything is the same people. So obviously that's television that I like to watch. I don't know what number 5 is. I guess I'll have to.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Well, no,
Or
Game
did
of
you
Thrones
already
already
have that?
said.
Yeah.
I'll leave number 5 spot open to
That's
whatever
fair.
to whatever one I
Yeah.
forgot. It'll be that honorable mention spot.
What's yours, Akko?
5, top 5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But we're talking real people shows, not anime.
Real people. Yeah.
Because you
I
did
know.
anime last week.
You can have one anime.
Yeah.
It's fine. No, I'll put no anime in. I would say, How I Met Your Mother, Scrubs, Game of Thrones.
We have 3 of the same.
I have Scrubs on mine as well.
I like comedies a lot.
Yeah, I was
So-
gonna say 99 or
Yep.
Superstore.
99 Superstore.
Yeah, I watched both of those too.
Yep, I'd say those are my top 5 right there.
Do you watch Modern Family? That show's
Yeah.
funny
Oh
too.
yeah, I do
Yeah,
like
that's-
Modern
that's
Family.
a
Oh,
good
that's a good
show.
one too. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. I really like comedies.
Also, Law and Order SVU, just because it's one of those long-reigning shows that I've been watching for all these years. So even though like it's not that like moving, it's still one of those ones that I'll probably watch it till it.
Well, there you go,
stops for
number
me.
5.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
SVU.
I mean, I haven't watched a lot of like
Live action.
series television in a long time, so mine is kind of outdated and some of them debatable. But my number 1 right now is I love the show Californication. I'll put Game of Thrones on there as well. This is now in no particular order. Game of Thrones, Scrubs. I did like Dexter, so I'll put Dexter on there, and Chuck.
Oh,
Chuck is
on there.
great. Yeah.
I forgot about Chuck.
Slay doesn't like it, but that's because she doesn't like the goofy, stupid, always screws up type, doesn't do what they're told. But it's like, well, if Chuck always just stood in the van, there would be no plot to it. There'd be no character development for him. But I liked it a lot.
How about you, Zwack?
I would have to go with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Breaking Bad, How I Met Your Mother, Scrubs, and I'm apprehensive to put Game of Thrones on there. But
Understandably.
I love the story so much that I'm going to have to put Game of Thrones
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slay, I know you're not really
And I think
podcasting too
Brotherhood
much
is
right
just
now,
a
but if you had to
perfect
pick a
show.
top 5 shows that are not anime, what would you pick?
Let's come up to the microphone.
Have you even seen 5 shows that are not anime, first of all?
Or maybe she's only seen 5 and put 5 in there.
Yeah.
You can pick one anime.
Well, like, can I put like Archer in there?
Hell yeah.
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 I
Absolutely.
forgot
yeah.
about Archer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
Archer's
Damn it. It's
Go back
an
to your
amazing
TV
show.
It's an amazing
Okay,
show.
so yeah, Archer.
Oh God.
Haven't seen that one.
Really?
American Horror Stories.
Oh.
I only saw the first season.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That is
was-
pretty
that
good.
was really good.
That might actually be in my top 6.
Yeah.
I only
Great
like
enough.
Now we got to make a top 10. It's
Yeah.
alright.
All right.
I liked Gotham. I kind of want to go back to finish that.
I enjoyed Gotham.
I do like Gotham.
Never want.
I watched the first
Yeah.
3 seasons.
Ooh, and Handmaid's Tale. I forgot about that one. That one's a good show too.
I don't know, a show that I like to just throw on and watch when I'm like need something to, I don't know, pass the time. I really like Kitchen Nightmares. Kitchen
Parks and
Nightmares.
Recreation.
Oh.
I still
also
haven't
has Lucy
watched
Lawless,
it.
so
That show is what I go to when I'm like feeling sad, so I can like let Leslie Knope is like the most upbeat character I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Uh-huh.
Sorry,
Too hard.
you didn't have Xena in yours.
yeah,
I
I
didn't.
feel personally victimized by
I
Rachel.
did
He
not.
also hasn't finished it, so.
No, I haven't
That's
finished
You
it.
haven't, you
And
did.
It even when I finish it, it won't make my
We're
top
getting
5.
divorced,
I'm
but that's
sorry.
another problem.
But I mean, I guess one show I didn't put in mine too. I forgot about, and this is a show that I like to put on if, like, I'm not in the mood to watch some anime, and I just go to Netflix and I'm like sitting down to eat something and want to watch something where I can turn my brain off and laugh. Is Cheers. Like, I watch
Friends
that
is
a
mine.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would go to Friends over
Yeah.
Cheers,
Yeah.
but
Anyway,
yeah, Slay, I don't know how many you're at now.
Keep talking.
you
And
said
I got one
Archer
last
and
one.
You said Archer, American Horror Story, Kitchen Nightmares.
that is a good show.
Kitchen Nightmares?
Yeah.
It
By the
is.
way, American Horror
Hilarious.
Story is also singular. It's not American Horror Stories. Just like there's
Well,
not
there's
Cersei's,
multiple
there's one.
seasons.
There's multiple seasons of.
Damn it! I didn't make
Yeah.
my Tyrone Lannister joke. Damn it.
Oh, shoot.
Tyrone Lancaster.
Wait, Gotham was on there too. So I
Yeah.
just need
Gotham.
one more. So I just
So
need
yeah,
one more.
one more.
And you can do an anime.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
No,
Like what's
then,
your
yeah,
all-time
Hunter.
top anime?
Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Okay.
I can respect that.
All right. Well,
Is that us signing off?
yeah, I think we're getting pretty much down to the end. Bob, you want to close us off since it's your topic?
Tune in next week to hear
Absolutely.
me speak more, guys.
Absolutely not. She will not be a part of it. Just kidding. Yep, so that is our show, our podcast for this week. Wrapping up Game of Thrones, so we will probably not be doing any more of those since it's over now, and we're a little bit fed up. So, yeah, come back for the next podcast. I'm not quite sure what we're going to talk about then.
It will be convention.
Yeah, we are.
Convention,
It'll be
I
our
forgot.
Convention recap
Yes.
to
Convention
the anime
recap.
convention we're
Can I
going
come
to.
back for that? Sure.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
We'll be, recapping and talking about the anime convention we go to
And I
this
feel like in
coming
the
weekend.
spirit of the convention, I may also be drunk for the podcast, just because
Totally fine.
that's how my experience of the convention will be. So
Yeah.
If
Alright.
I had a ride home, I would too.
Yep. I'm going to have to work that night, unfortunately, so I will not be. But
yeah,
that's it for
that's it.
this week, and we'll be back for another one shortly.
bye.
See
See
ya.
ya.